Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time to make a video where I'm gonna tell you some reality checks, because I've been reading on the internet, reading in my comment section and reading in my Twitch chat about some of the wild expectations that people are going to have for the GTA Trilogy Remasters. It is important to touch on a couple of things and also set realistic expectations for the Trilogy Remasters before we start receiving them soon TM. About that, a few extra rumors have been floating around. The current rumored release date for the digital release is going to be on November 11th, and then there is supposedly also a physical release coming for last gen, PS3, Xbox One on December, and then in 2022 somewhere we'll be getting a physical release for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. These are all rumors, nothing has been confirmed, but I figured I'd let you know anyways. Starting off with a few vital things to touch on when it comes to these remasters. The wording from Rockstar themselves. I know I've touched on this before, but here we go. Rockstar says that the definitive edition will feature across-the-board upgrades, including graphical improvements and modern gameplay enhancements for all three titles, while still maintaining the classic look and feel of the games. There's one vital thing that you have to keep in mind when reading this exact text. They don't use the wording built from the ground up, remade, or anything along those lines, meaning that you will be getting the exact same games that you know and love, but then looking a little bit better, playing potentially a little bit better, using modern gameplay enhancements, probably meaning that you'll be able to use control schemes like you used in GTA 5 by using your left and right trigger to drive. Perhaps even in GTA 3 and Vice City you'll be able to use third-person camera rather than always having the camera stuck behind you. Something minor and simple like that. Maybe, just maybe, and this is like a big maybe because the games are hard-coded to be 30 FPS, we will be getting 60 FPS, but I am kinda doubting that, considering that with PC mods, I believe even GTA San Andreas is not able to run in 60 FPS, but correct me if I'm wrong here. I've heard things being thrown around like, hey, they should add multiplayer now. That's not gonna be a thing. There never was multiplayer for GTA 3 and Vice City, not official at least. And for San Andreas there was co-op, so maybe they'll add the co-op thing again like in the PS2 version, but I kinda doubt it, to be honest with you. Something like making Claude and Tommy being able to swim, no, for the simple reason that it would break the game and it would probably have to change a bunch of different things, including new animations and whatnot, in order to even be able to have them do that, really. Also considering the fact that if you would be able to do so, GTA 3 and Vice City would just have entire gameplay elements of it, because the scenario in Vice City, for example, is that there's a storm raging on the other island and you're not able to go there because the bridges are closed. Also something like Claude now having a voice, which is very interesting because the game was literally never made with a voice actor in mind, which would also just completely ruin the entire game and the way it was made all those years ago, and would not maintain the classic look and feel because Claude would then be speaking. Another wild thing that I saw floating around is like, oh, what if Ryder is no longer an antagonist, no longer the bad guy? He's just gonna be your friend from the start to finish. You're gonna just walk across the fields and hold hands while going for a relaxing walk on the beach. This is not realistic. This would completely change the story again, and again, this is too fundamental of a change for something that is just simply going to be a remaster rather than a complete remake. I don't think that you are going to be able to expect anything along the lines of Mafia 1. I know the wording of the title of the game kinda insinuates that it's more a remake rather than a remaster because of how they have marketed Mafia 1, calling it the definitive edition. I know it would have been great if we would just have a from the ground up build remake, but there are some things that also have been said by an ex-developer, basically seeing that it's been a long time coming, that he's happy to see it announced, and that no doubt you'll have a great time and be pleasantly surprised. Vice City was always his favorite. This does give me some good vibes, considering the fact that at least one person who has worked on this has played Vice City before, so he probably knows how the game should feel. Jokes aside for a second though, in general, I think that you should just be keeping realistic expectations for this, like I said before. You're not going to get yourself a from the ground build up new remake and everything is going to be all sunshine and rainbows. There's definitely going to be things that you might not agree with. You might not think that is the right approach to how they should have done things. But in general, I think that you can probably just expect a more modern looking GTA 3, Vice City and San Andreas. It's not going to be on the same level of graphics as GTA 5 will probably be, considering the fact that it's going to be built in a completely new engine, gives them more freedom. The thing that you're probably going to be able to expect, at least in my opinion, some better lighting, some stuff is just going to look a little nicer, but I think it's still going to look like a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 game. Hopefully though, they're not going to go down the same route as they did with GTA San Andreas and dumping a bunch of oil on that version of the game, because I don't know what the hell they were doing there, because that just looks like everyone has just decided that oil and lube is the way to go about driving around in the city. Regardless, that was it for this one. Thank you also very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and if you really like what's seen on the channel, consider becoming a member. Like Chloe, Roberts, I Lose Fire, Captain Price, Shakulu, Madman Dakota, and Dr. Strange Love. Join them and the other fellow members by clicking the join button down below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.